Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site, and for extra support everything is done also on Patreon. And I go about any kind of updates and such on Twitter X platform. Yesterday, I think, yeah, during the weekend I managed to go about doing some live stream, at least yesterday. I think I missed out Saturday, but yeah, yesterday I did a live stream on Elden Ring again, working on the no, I did Saturday and Sunday, sorry. VODs are coming up. Yeah, I don't know when. The YouTube takes a long time with that, and again, at this moment in time I'm just doing some live stream on YouTube for the moment being, because of technical constraints, but I will eventually change to Rumble when the streaming conditions are a little bit better. But yeah, and later today we will get another Jedi Survivor episode, and then tomorrow Dead Space episode remake there. Yeah, basically in terms of channel updates, what I got here, just one thing, I'm not sure, again, because as a freelance, sometimes I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff here, so I try to condense everything in one daily program here. I might be, let's see, depending on the day and the news cycles and all that stuff, I might be able to start doing more than one, depending on events occur during the day here, so I can keep more up to date, let's say. In certain aspects, depends. I will continue to do the daily program as it is. But I don't know, maybe I will start doing also like very short clips, like once just pointing out in one subject if he merits the attention, and most importantly if I have time to do that, or else I will just glue that on the main program. But yeah, I will try to do my best to keep my eyes on it and probably do more videos, I don't know, depending again on how things go and if I have time to do so. But yeah, let's go to the news regarding gaming industry. Kind of interesting thing regarding RDNA 5 from AMD. This comes from a leaker that it's been kind of silent, let's say, for a while, but when he usually leaks something, or he has a rumor regarding something, usually things turn out to be what he says. I think some past leaks included the RX 6000 refresh and the RTX 30 series cards. Again, I'm not sure which rumors they were specifically, but supposedly when he leaked information regarding these situations, they were correct. Regarding the RDNA 5 here, just a quick rundown here. Again, we already covered this, the fact that RDNA 3 is not the ideal, didn't have, sorry, the ideal launch, and also it was not performing as AMD wanted to perform, mainly because of the supposedly final silicon not meeting internal performance projections, and of course the efficiency stuff was also not that good as announced. Even so, the fact that to the initial designs, supposedly they wanted to make 192 megabytes of infinity cache, and it had to be brought down basically to half of that, or less than half of that, around 96 megabytes, mainly due to the cost and power constraints, apparently. That gives you a little bit of an idea of how the performance could have been, because supposedly the initial things that they will almost be competitive with the 4090, the XTX version, but because of all these kind of issues that they had, and I think it's more about the infinity cache because of the chiplet design there. I think they encountered a lot of issues, and when they tried to kind of brute force in terms of performance, or which is basically delivering more power there, they had a lot of issues. There was also some rumblings regarding the effect when they overclock after a certain specification, a lot of artifacting and a lot of crashes on the GPUs were happening, so they have to basically throttle down a little bit the chips there. But yeah, basically that was not the ideal launch for RDNA 3, which is the 7000 series. Even though they, for me at this moment in time, again, from time to time, depending on the game, I might have a crash here and there, but I think it's more about the application itself than that the GPU. Mainly, the only issue that I have more is with Elden Ring. From time to time, it just after 5 minutes it just crashes. Other times I can play, I can be on with the game running 4 or 5 hours and nothing happens. Everything it's okay. Again, depends a little bit on the game there and even on other apps in terms of productivity. I didn't have any kind of issues regarding the GPU itself. So it seems to be in control and kind of shenanigans happening there. But yeah, and we got also, given that this is about RDNA 5, got a little bit of things of upcoming stuff. There will be the RDNA 4, which is, as we already been confirming, the top chip is cancelled, basically. At least that's the consistent information that we've been getting out through leaks and rumors. And that they were going to launch just Navi 48 and 44, which is going to be a monolithic die, so it will not be incorporated the chiplet design, because again, on the R&D phase, they didn't manage to solve the issues that they had with RDNA 3 and 4, and they jump ahead and transfer that R&D resource to RDNA 5, basically. What we can get out of RDNA 4 is basically kind of the round in terms of rasterized performance with the 7900 XT roundabout there. We saw some information. It was between, again, the XTX, the 7900 XTX, and the GRE kind of thing, which it is on the roundabouts on the 7900 XT kind of performance. But what we might see is big improvements regarding ray tracing performance. Again, I don't know. I think they were taking good steps there. At least, hopefully, we'll get at least on ray tracing performance, because there is some demanding on that front there. But yeah, for also information regarding pricing, I think they are going to try and aim this to medium kind of sector in terms of pricing, around the 7800. At least the rumors, if not mistaken, is going to be a performance of a 7900 XT with better ray tracing at around the price of a 7800 XT. From what I've been hearing, that seems to be kind of consistent there. Regarding RDNA's 5 GPUs, supposedly they are building a new brand architecture designed from the ground up. I think that's it makes sense because of how they allocated the resources. They basically canceled the troubleshooting of RDNA 4 top tier, and they just pass everything to RDNA 5 there. Makes a little bit sense, given that it is kind of re-engineering of the architecture there, or a brand new architecture on RDNA 5 there. Some rumbling seems to be consistent on the fact that it's going to be like a Zen moment. So when Zen CPUs came out, it revolutionized the AMD on the CPU side a few years ago, and we are getting the culmination of what we get here from the CPUs now, the 7000 series CPUs, and Zen 5. It's going to be a little even better, and then got Zen 6. We got the fruits bearing here on this generation, which if you see any kind of benchmarking, you can see that they compete in terms of performance with Intel CPUs, and usually they deliver with around between 50 to 60% of the power efficiency, and they deliver pretty well. They are pretty consistent. They are stable. You don't have the same situation that we have with the at least last 2 generation of Intel CPUs, of stability issues and silicon degradation. But yeah, basically, I think they're trying to prepare themselves to be like a Zen moment in that sense. Something that will compete, I don't know, with the generation that will come in NVIDIA. At least that's my perception here. again, this is the latest rumors that we have regarding AMD GPU stuff there. Hopefully, they will deliver what they are trying to achieve here, especially with RDNA 5. We're already kind of on like stable ground on what to expect with RDNA 4, which not expecting a lot of stuff there. We might see something regarding branding again because of the AI thing. They will maybe try to go around with the AI branding on the GPU side there for more. I don't know if they're aiming this for more productivity kind of GPU stuff there. But yeah, probably we'll see something like that. But yeah, so far we don't have like any kind of process node specification regarding RDNA. We probably they will might change also the naming scheme, so probably will stop being, I don't know, Navi whatever 5x or something like that. Or might be some new naming scheme, and I don't know if they're going to reset the 8000. Maybe they will go even drop the Radeon RX. Maybe they will start doing the AI thing, Radeon AI 1000, something like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But supposedly in terms of performance, it will be focused on gaming, and I will assume it will be competitive in terms of pricing because they usually are more cheap, the AMD GPUs, and from what they deliver in terms of performance, they are usually comparable, and they are very competitive usually. But yeah, regarding AMD, it's what I got for today. In terms of gaming news, you got some stuff here. Again, we got a lot of quarter earnings calls from these companies, and we got now some news from Square Enix. They're basically going to kind of universe reboot on Square Enix per se. They narrowly missed the revenue target and majorly missed the operating income target with a later quarter, and year to year it's been down 26% of that on year-to-year basis stuff. Again, people tend to forget after the lockdown stuff from 2019 to 2022-ish, we got a huge boom on the gaming industry, mainly because of the lockdowns and stay-at-home mandatory stuff, and people just invested a little bit more in games, and that all market just got a boom. And yeah, people, this kind of suit guys and corporate guys thought when they see the arrow go up, again, they think it's the new normal. It's always going up, always going up, always going up. Infinite growth and infinite wealth and all that bullshit that these guys tend to believe. Seems almost like a religion there. Instead of preparing themselves to be something that is going to be a temporary situation, and they could have been prepared now for the low down, which is basically stabilizing pre-pandemic levels in terms of the caps on the market there, in terms of launches and in terms of income, let's say. No, they just went full throttle and they are screwing up. You got the Xbox stuff, and a lot of companies, they closing down studios, firing up people. It's been only this year around almost 30,000 people getting laid off from the studios and developers, and studios closing and all that crap there. Similarly, Square Enix is going to reboot they got supposedly a 3-year plan, which is foundation laying for long-term growth. We'll see how this goes, but yeah, the key changes supposedly are going to be more aggressive on multi-platform strategy, and supposedly focus more on quality over quantity. Again, this seems look good just by reading this, but again, never trust a corporation to do the right thing for a consumer. So yeah, we have to wait and see. The thing here with multi-platform seems pretty good, because usually from their main franchises, like Final Fantasy, they usually come around with time exclusivity for PlayStation, and sometimes takes more than a year to come around to be available for other platforms. And I think, again, to a certain degree, exclusives are dead, because of the potential revenue that they can get from other platforms. And that's why yeah, console market it's a little bit on a rough state because of that, because before they could have the excuse to a certain degree that they can have exclusives on that platform, so people just got stuck with that platform because of the exclusive things. But yeah, and the fact that we had also a huge boom, also mainly because of the lockdown stuff since 2019. We had huge boom on PC gaming and PC hardware sales and PC software sales, all that jazz. We saw a lot of huge growth on that also, and I think they are seeing that, and because I don't see people, at least from the time being, if you invest some money on the PC, you'll just drop the PC there and put it on the corner, never use it again. It's a platform like a console. It's an investment to a certain degree, being for hobbies or even for work, and a lot of people for sure buy a lot of PCs for work and take advantage of the build itself to play games in their free time, a little bit like me. But yeah, hopefully they will start launching, especially the AAA games, which is like the bread and butter from Square Enix, especially Final Fantasy. They will start launching on day and date on multiple platforms. If not for Nintendo platforms, at least from PlayStation and PC. Which usually they are very exclusive to PlayStation, at least Square Enix says. And for the SD titles, I don't know why they do the differentiation between HD and SD. Supposedly they're going for all out for mobile stuff, with some integration with PC, of course. And again, they will pursue a shift from quantity to quality as a medium to long-term philosophy regarding the I don't know what this is, segment portfolio. Yeah, I think they also took a lesson with Final Fantasy 16 and the remake from Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, I think they saw probably good sales on the PC, especially on the first port of the Final Fantasy Rebirth there. We still don't have the second one coming out, any kind of news regarding that. I think Final Fantasy 16, I'm not even sure if it already came out to PC. I think they're finishing working on that. It's almost a year after everything. But yeah, they are losing sales there. I just hope they don't get no. Square Enix is the publisher, so there is no worries about these kind of games being tied up with PSN accounts linking. I think so, but yeah, hopefully they will change their thing, try to continue to do good games, and now they can launch in terms of the multi-platform thing there. Got other stuff regarding Dragon Age, Dreadwolf. I've been seeing the past week some rumblings here and there with Dragon Age, but I've not been covering it because it's a little bit here and there, contradictory stuff. Because again, supposedly the game would be launched in 2024. Now they said that there was a time that they said the development of the game, it was a mess, it was going to be very difficult, but similarly internally they are really happy how it turned out and that it's almost done. Again, the original development of this game is being quite a shit show. Supposedly the creator Mike Laidlaw spearheaded a project that was supposed to deliver small, more narrative-focused Dragon Age. However, the project was cancelled by EA because it didn't have any kind of live service elements that EA wanted. Go figure. And again, this is way at the time on the Anthem release, so they were going full throttle on everything, and they still are to a certain degree. But yeah. And because of this forcing to live service elements, Layden left BioWare as a result. A few years later, from what I understood, another Dragon Age project got off the ground with those live service elements, but in early 2021 there was reported that EA had been convinced by the success of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is It was a success, but it's not still a pretty good game. But at the discount price, I think it's still worth buying into this game. The story is very short, very focused. I only took like 20 episodes wrapping up that game, and I tried to explore as much as I could. And again, they were convinced with the success of this game of the commercial viability of single player game. As such, those live service elements were scrapped, and then they were going back to being single player only. Again, I'm not sure in what phase of development this game was when they took this decision of removing the live service, because when you start a project has a live service, it's a completely different way of going about it if you want to focus on a single player thing, mainly because of the live service elements like the monetization mechanics, how you're going to monetize the mechanics, and whatever you want to introduce, for like for example skins, weapons, stuff like that you might introduce on the game, plus the DLC stuff. So you have to build your game in preparation to receive more content, so it's more fractured in terms of narrative, how the narrative works there. Instead of a single player, you can at least supposedly theoretically you can build a game from start to finish with the narrative heart there and all the gameplay mechanics associated with how you want to tell the story. But yeah, they were scrapped 2021. It's been around 3 years, and supposedly in October 2022, the studio announced it reached the alpha milestone, which basically the game being playable from beginning to end. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. If it is like it is on the article here, I'm not sure this game is going to be pretty good. And given the focus of EA has been delivering lately with Andrew Wilson, they want to start putting ads on games. And still, there is that little thing on. I think they, to a certain degree, they are turning a little bit on the Ubisoft side. Plus the fact that they want to put publicity and advertisement in single player games of all that. I think they have a bad experience. I'm not sure how it went with the 2K thing, like not the 2K. I think they have a basketball game. I'm not sure even if no, this is not ePlay. This is 2K thing. But yeah, this is not going to go well. They already had that Assassin's Creed thing that happened. I think it was Black Flag. They said it was like an internal coding error or whatever it was. But they're going to try the next projects there, for sure. Even if it is a single player, even if you play paid full price for the game, it's the same shit that Netflix and Amazon's and all those streaming services they're starting to. Is you got a tier. That it's supposedly the cheapest tier. They are going to introduce ads on it. It's going to be, might as well watch YouTube. If you're going to watch ads, at least you are at least a free. I can understand if they want to deliver a free tier and introduce you ads in the middle of an episode or something like that, or like 2 ad breaks in a movie. If you have a free tier, I can understand that. But yeah, if you're paying for a thing, you shouldn't be bothered with ads there, especially on a game of $70 product. You just being interrupted with ads. This is not going to work well. But they're going to try regardless, because it's. Of the risk factor there, they prefer to handle the blow there regarding and burn a game on that thing there, the sales of game, to see if it compensates or not. And I will assume they will start off with I don't know, lower end games. I don't know. I don't even know. No, Prince of Persia is Ubisoft. I don't know. Like a low tier game. They're going to launch on PC for sure. It's not going to sell very well, even if it didn't have the ads there, but they're going to introduce the ads to see like a case study for them. I don't know. And then they will review internally the backlash they're going to get there. But again, EA is doing this, whether you like it or not. And again, I always recommend vote with your wallet. I'm trying to avoid, even with deals, at this moment in time, recommending any kind of PlayStation ports. Like the PlayStation exclusives, I'm avoiding that, and also I will start avoiding more Ubisoft. I don't play basically anything from Ubisoft, as far as I remember. I stopped playing the Assassin's Creeds and all that jazz, Far Cry's. I stopped playing that stuff there. And EA at this moment, I got 2 games which I want to not get it over with, but play it now because they are EA games. While the I don't know, while the advertisement stuff is not going to be implemented, but it's one of those. It's games that I wanted to play out of curiosity. Jedi Survivor. It's a little bit to see the continuation of the story, see how it goes, and Dead Space remake mainly because I played the first game and I enjoy it pretty much. That's why I'm playing EA games at the moment. But yeah, I will probably do some more of these games from the companies, but again, depends on how things go. But yeah, this I don't think this is going to be a success, the Dragon Age Dreadwolf. I think people are a little bit tired of this shit. But yeah, continuing with some news, we got Rogue Prince of Persia delays the release of its early access. I saw this announcement. I think I covered the announcement here. Seems to be a decent roguelike kind of a thing here. But yeah, it's going to... I don't know why it's going to release in early access. This is a Ubisoft game. I don't see the need of first releasing on early access. But yeah, what can I say? But it's going to be delayed, mainly because of the launch of the Hades 2 early access. Again, people, it's supposedly it's being a great hit for Supergiant games. That makes sense releasing in early access, basically because of the Supergiant Games is a small publisher, and I think it makes sense. At least the last time they did Hades, which is last game, they also did in the early access version. But yeah, this is Prince of Persia. I don't know. It would make sense they release a beta test there. My main issue with this is because of the early access, you pay to get access to the game. I prefer something like a beta testing kind of a thing there, probably, or a demo and get feedback on that demo, something like that. I don't see the purpose of with supposedly the money that Ubisoft have to do early access version of this game. But yeah, it's been delayed. I didn't even put it. It was supposed to be for tomorrow, but they are delaying this until a further date, I think. I didn't see any date there. They patch one, apologize. Okay. I don't see any date here. They just delayed. They supposedly will announce something afterwards. At least I don't see any date here. But yeah, again, they're going to delay this one. But again, early access on a Ubisoft game, I don't know what they are going about here. Cyberpunk 2077 director thanks gamers for their recent Steam reviews. Again, similarly, 95 overwhelming positive reviews in the last month or so, if not mistaken. Yeah, last 30 days, 95% positive, which is pretty good. And again, as a quote, you can't imagine how much it means to me. I have never been close to giving up and always believed this could be somehow possible, but never thought it would actually see it. Thank you so much for the second chance, chumps. Again, this shows again that the redemption is possible if you're willing to humble yourself. Yeah, because the launch of this game was an absolute mess. So it basically chaos, widespread criticism, performance issues, overall thousands of happy gamers. So much that even Sony started giving refunds because basically it was unplayable on the PlayStation. Yeah, and even pulled out the game from the marketplace altogether. But yeah, slowly but surely they managed to patch the game out of this, and with a lot of updates and culminating with the launch of Phantom Liberty. I think they, as I've been saying, now I think the game is on the state of the promise that they made before launch. I think now it's on that thing, and now it deserves the positive feedback here. But again, it took a lot of beating from everybody for them to realize that they knew they were messing on this one. At the time, there was a lot of coverage of the corpos. They really wanted the game to be launched earlier, even though they knew internally that the game was not in the decent conditions to be launched. And yeah, the corporation part of the company, just the publisher side, just decided to launch the game regardless, because they wanted to, because the game was delayed a couple of times at least. But yeah, they pressured for them to launch at that time, and that was the shit show. But again, it recovered. The game sold pretty well. It's been basically around 2 years, at least 2 to 3 years of climbing up and trying to regain all the goodwill that they had when they launched the game, which was lost at the time. And now, even then, they are now throwing a little bit jabs in their under publisher. I think the Escape of Tarkov thing there, but I didn't cover that. It's just kind of corporate drama to a certain degree, so it was not worth covering that. But yeah, this is how you bend the wheel to a certain degree. Certain publishers and developers, more the publishers there, the same situation with, for example, Airdivers 2. A lot of it came from the negative reviews, that people just turned positive to negative reviews. But again, the bottom line is corporation stock money, money language. When Steam started to issue some refunds, they started seeing all the sales going away, because especially, for example, with Drivers, which is a multiplayer game, so a live service, they saw the potential of all the DLC stuff and everything going about. But some higher up that just looks at numbers, they didn't. It's something I have to check to see how the situation is. But the last time I saw on Steam, the 180 countries, they're continuing to be delisted. People that want to buy the game cannot buy, because they are delisted there. And even though there is no necessity of having a PSN account linkage there, they just ban the game altogether on those regions on Steam. It's been a shit show. I think PlayStation is going to be reckoned with the fact that I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to be a shit show also, because they have the same situation there for the multiplayer part of the game. On Ghost of Tsushima is going to be a little bit worse, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, okay, if you want to delist the game on Steam, no worries, we will pirate the game. A lot of people are going again, and people tend to forget that the rise of Steam and how it deals with the distribution of games being basically only like in very highly sanctioned countries, I think, that they don't operate, which is like a handful of them, like North Korea and the such, or usually countries torn by war, even though I think even, for example, in Ukraine, they still can access Steam, something like that, if not mistaken. But yeah, even in those countries, they still operate as a distributor, and it toned down a lot the piracy around, because again, the philosophy, and I think it's to a certain degree is very much applicable. The people, if you have an alternative to piracy, which is if you can provide a service, because piracy to a certain degree, I completely forgot the quote there, but the piracy is basically, it exists because the convenience of buying something is less than pirating it, than to get the pirated version. So with Steam, because there is a lot of convenience, and the ways you can go about it, buying a game on Steam, are way better than to try and get a pirated version that doesn't have any kind of virus, or doesn't have any kind of constraints about it. That's why people now manage to buy more games than pirated. But I think with Ghost of Tsushima, we're going to see a spike there, just out of spite to PlayStation. They're just going to play the game, but they're going to pirate it, and they don't give a crap. And this could possibly lend to a rise up in piracy in games on PC versions, of course, especially from PlayStation games. Probably we'll see a lot of more pirated version of, for example, God of War and first party Sony games. They are probably also from one of the good games that they had. Also, for example, got the Horizon stuff. You got also the zombie game. Not Left Alive. I completely forgot the name of the game. But yeah, we got for sure a lot of people out of spite, even Ratchet and Clank stuff. For sure, you're going to see a lot of people just pirating the game that are published by PlayStation or Sony Entertainment. They're going to be pirated for sure, just out of spite. So if you want to make a stand, you can make a stand there, but you're going to get no profit out of the PC games just because you're making us to get the inconvenience of trying to buy a game. Because even with Ghost of Tsushima, they're being refunding pre-orders of all things. They are refunding pre-orders of countries delisted from Sony. But yeah, this is how you can change to a certain degree, have a leverage regarding some companies. And again, I'm all for consumer, and I don't chill for any kind of company. Steam has a lot of convenience there, but I don't chill for them. I just wish, for example, that Epic Game Store had the same kind of conveniences that Steam has. And even, for example, if Ubisoft or EA Play Store, if they have the same kind of features and the convenience of and the social integration that Steam has, and how they go about things usually, even, for example, just the fact that you can return a game if you didn't play more than 2 hours, you can just issue a refund automatically, no questions asked. This kind of easements that make people like using Steam or feel very comfortable using Steam. I think we need a competition regarding that. They should take some good lessons out of it, and that's why Steam can charge basically 30% off as a fee, because 90% plus of gamers are on Steam, the PC players. So because of the convenience, they facilitate convenience of people getting access to games. But yeah, that all said, I'm going to wrap up here with Marvel Rivals forbids influencers to speak negatively about game. Again, I never heard about this game, but yeah, Marvel, it's a new team-based shooter, so this is like a copycat of Overwatch, Paladins, and Team Fortress 2, so kind of Overwatch. It's the best example that I can get of what the game is. I know Team Fortress 2 exists, but Paladins, never heard of it. But yeah, this is a new game with a Marvel IP, which is going to be a shit show for sure, and basically they have on the NDA stuff. Yeah, see, on the clause 2.1, I think, non-disparagement. The content creator agrees not to make any public statements or engage in discussions that are detrimental. Sorry, I'm reading so bad. Detrimental to the reputation of the game. This includes, but not limited to, making disparaging or satirical comments about any game-related materials such as game features, characters, or music. And B, engaging in malicious comparisons with competitors or belittling the gameplay or differences of Marvel Rivals, or providing subjective negative reviews of the game. So basically, you can only say good things. Yeah, this is not good. I could, to a certain degree, agree with this kind of agreement if the language was a little bit different and without this A and B lines here, which is basically the content creator agrees to avoid any kind of, I don't know, I don't know, but that can also be interpreted in other ways. But try not to make negative comments or something like that, or focus more on positive aspects of the game instead of the negative, something like that, that might be interpreted in a way that it's not being flat out said here, which is basically you can only say good things. If you're not, you're screwed there. Yeah, providing subjective negative reviews of the game. That kills me. So even if the game is broken, you cannot say anything. You just say, no, this game is perfect. Jesus fucking Christ. Making disparaging, not even satirical comments about any game related material. Game features, characters, or music. These people are completely. You got Asmogul reacting to this for sure. But yeah. And then update. Someone claiming to be from the marketing manager for Marvel Rivals apologized for the miscommunication. This is not miscommunication. This is a legal agreement. NDA, it's a legal agreement that is signed all over the world between companies and customers, between companies and other companies, between, for example, in this case, between a game developer or game publisher and early access influencer, let's say, or game reviewer. These NDAs it's a common thing here. It's almost like a prenup to a certain degree. And yeah, there is some rumblings that I heard that sometimes this kind of sort of clause, some users claim that it's pretty standard, but I'm not sure if it has this kind of specific language here. If it has, it's not good. If this is like the normal with this kind of language, again, I would reinforce you not to trust any kind of early access review or early access comments on any kind of game that you're saying. Take it with a huge grain of salt. But yeah, this is like a tie, a bow tie on today's news regarding this kind of shenanigans here. Again, I don't know. I should have checked Marvel Rivals, who is the publisher here, because on this article doesn't say anything about it. But yeah, it's yet to be announced any kind of release date. Again, Steam and Epic Game Stores. Yeah, this is going to be a shit show also altogether. Just because of this, is not going to sell anything unless you got some stands here that want play Marvel stuff regardless. But yeah, this I don't even understand who this hero is here. Supposedly Black Panther. I don't know who this is. Black Widow? No, Black Widow's got red hair. I don't know. Yeah, this seems like Overwatch. Seems like a copy of Overwatch. This is identifiable as Black Panther. That's pretty sure. Got a sword here. Maybe for the Midnight Suns. That there is that blonde girl that opens portals with a sword. Probably that's her. I don't know. She's not very well known. I remember her because of Midnight Suns game. And yeah, this seems like Overwatch art. The background here. Yeah, I don't know what they are aiming here for. But yeah, I'm going from gaming deals. We still have Circus Electric for free on Epic Game Store. Again, this seems to be a pretty decent turn-based game on the veins of Darkness Dungeon, I think. It's kind of that vein of game. Seems pretty decent and competent. It's got around 70% on Metacritic, I think. But yeah, it's for free. You can give it a try. On Steam, we got Invincible, 33% off. We got Dark Souls is still on the promotion until the 16th, 50% off on Dark Souls Remastered, which has the DLC associated. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin is also with the DLC, the free DLC, is not mistaken. And then we got Dark Souls 3, the Deluxe Edition is the way to go. It's got the Ashes of Riandel and the Ring City DLC there, and it's awesome. We got Atomic Heart, 55% off on all editions. I think the premiere, it's almost finished. Oh, I didn't see this, sorry. Probably it's almost in the final hour when the when the video is published, but yeah, we got Atomic Heart, and we got also Goddammit 80s. I didn't see the deadline here. Okay, we'll see how it goes in terms of publishing the video. I'll try to publish as fast as I can. And then on Frostpunk, on GOG, you got Frostpunk, got a day or something here. This is the Game of the Year edition, 75% off. We got 50% off on No Man's Skies. Got the latest update, which is Echoes. Everything is part of the base game, so it's got 20 plus updates there. And last you got Tomb Raider, the Game of the Year edition. So this is the first one from the reboot. It's a very decent game, especially at this price point. Got all the DLC and the skins and the cosmetic stuff there for this price here, and no DRMs on GOG as usual. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up for at least for today and now with the gaming news stuff. I'm just going to plug my Patreon here for access support. The access support at this moment in time is more for me to get around and get a storage solution for me to be able to get backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra storage for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So till then, Kunamy Master out.